window or screen. Entire screen. Allow. Так. Okay. So, guys, this lesson is, let me close the door. This lesson is an introduction to terminology, and I will show, like, while we are looking into terminology, I will show you two examples of the code that I managed to write myself. Okay. Terminology and definition. Generative AI is a class of algorithms and models that can generate new content, images, text, and music. When we speak about models, which models are these? This is a terminology from statistics and data science. When we train the models, it means we take the data, we run some algorithms on it, and eventually we get some model, which we can take as a binary code, supply inputs to it, and we'll get output which correlates with the data on which we trained that model. So in our case, model is not human models, it's something statistical. Okay, next. New content is generated based on user prompting, existing patterns, this is part of the model training, and examples from existing data. Up to here, this is all statistics. Now we come to the next level, large language models or LLMs. Technically, they do same as regular forecasting models, just they learn underlying structure and distribution of data. So it can be text in our case, or sounds for music, or images. And then it can generate new samples of data that resemble to original data. Again, if we talk about texts, so it will know how to generate the text, how to create new text. So next, now we have model which can produce some text. So to command it, to get LLM to perform a task, we need to provide a prompt. Prompt is a sort of, in our language, it's requirement, right? Give me the requirement. So it's a piece of text that should specify our requirements and provide clear instructions on how to respond. I will, in our example, I will show you quite simple prompts. And I've seen, while I was preparing, I've seen prompts which are like very huge. But all of them have something common. And since my lesson is very basic, we have people who attended courses in Dubai, and we have also people who were very curious about using ChatGPT and generative AI, and they can guide on proper prompting. I remember Vivi coming to me some 1.5 years ago and giving me lesson about prompts. So I believe Vivi with us or not?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I think that you will be the expert who can guide other people about proper prompts in future for those
Sure, welcome.
Okay. Next important thing is that we need to understand is hallucination. Before we going into this term, I need to give you one example, which is written here. For example, when asked, this is okay, it's British thing, when asked to describe the moon, our ChatGPT may respond, the moon is made of cheese. So this is not scientifically right, correct? And sometimes we ask, we can say like questions which required proper answer, like historical questions or physical questions. And we can get very weird responses from generative AIs. So people who already worked on AI risk management framework, they probably heard already that, okay, there are different AIs made for different purposes. So whatever is generative, it's AI which hallucinates and creates the content. So now coming to the definitions, we will understand what I mean. So large language models are highly complex predictive text machines. What does it mean? It means that they don't know or they don't understand the information they output. They simply predict the next word in the sequence. So if any of you tried in natural language processing, you will understand this very quick and clearly. Next word is just statistics. Whatever is coming, like next sentence or next word in the sentence, it's all about statistics. So models, current models, they don't understand. They really don't understand what they produce. So LLMs occasionally generate misleading or baseless content, and this phenomenon known as hallucination. So very important term. Providing additional contextual data helps to ground the LLM's responses. We will see later some more definitions and make them more accurate. So if I jump to the next, avoiding hallucination. So first thing that every model has is definition of temperature from 0 to 1. It corresponds to amount of randomness that model should use while generating the text. So 1, the model will be very creative. It will just generate the text. And with the temperature 0, the response will be more scientific. So it will be more looking like the text taken from existing sources. The next thing is prompt engineering. And prompt engineering is, as I said, it's also a very important thing where we provide instruction that guide LLM toward the desired response. For example, those who uses Copilot to generate the code, or I used this my engine. This is OpenAI engine. It's ChatGPT, I don't know which version, to generate Neo4j GraphDB queries. So with the proper prompt, which is quite long, but very precise, it can generate very good code. Or for me, it generated proper Neo4j cipher queries. What is Neo4j? Probably I will give another lesson some other day. It's a database which excites me more than ChatGPT and AI. Okay, providing additional instruction and context in the question is known as zero-shot learning. In-context learning provides model with the examples to inform its responses. So, okay, these are definitions are good, but let's see my example. rather than asking what is the blog post about, appropriate response, appropriate prompt would be provide a concise 3-sentence summary and 3 tags for the blog post. For example, what I do, I read some books which are in PDF format, so I'm asking for summaries of the chapters. And accordingly to the prompt, how precise am I, to which level of summary I want, it gives me from that really 5-line summary of the chapter to the 2 pages or 3 pages summary of the chapter, which is actually 20 pages. So proper prompt matters, we can see. Okay, avoiding hallucination, grounding, and fine-tuning. Now, how, if you look at the hardware, right, and the software, what happens? We have those big machines which have some ChatGPT model in our case, right? And this is trained with the text, like, I don't know, version 4, what is cutoff dates of it? Somewhere in November, October 24, right? And now it is Jan 10. So what is fine-tuning? We have that engine, and now we say, okay, I want you, if Krunal is here, okay, engine, I want you to answer questions about integration with 9PG, with the Certus Finance, right? So it will provide me integration information, structure of the messages, describe me the errors, and also probably it will guide me how to create the fingerprint. So this thing requires to provide the document and to create new vectors, we can say, right? To do some processing on those heavy machines. So this process, fine-tuning, involves additional language model training on a smaller task-specific dataset, in our case, integration document, right? This approach allows developers to specialize the model for specific domains or tasks. And I would say this requires, again, hardware, and this requires some computing resources. So it's not easy from the perspective, not from our perspective, but from perspective that how much energy was spent. So this is resource consuming thing. Okay, and there is in-context learning, which provides the model with the examples. I don't have here example, but we will see later. And grounding allows a language model to reference external up-to-date sources or database to enrich the responses. What does it mean? It means, like we said, GPT version 4 training cutoff date was somewhere in October 24. If I want to ask, for example, suggestion to which beach to go today, our Alibag or Goa, it doesn't know what is the weather today, right? So we need to ground our model. So we need to provide to our engine real-time information. For example, that weather websites. So it will go to the Alibag, check what is the weather at Alibag. It will check what is the weather in Goa, and will give me suggestions accordingly. So grounding, in our case, is very important term and functionality which we need to do. By integrating real-time data or APIs, developers ensure the model remains current and provides factual information beyond its last training cutoff. Okay, and RAG is created as part of the grounding. Retrieval augmented generation. So technically it's same. And this is the way This is the abbreviation which you will see a lot when we look into some trainings on AI and how to extend existing models to the domains that we need. Okay. I think this is last of the terminology, maybe not. Very important, vectors and embeddings. So now we come to how it works internally. So in natural language processing, NLP, there are numerical representations, vectors, which represent words and phrases. Okay. How is it done? We don't touch it here. This is a lot of mathematics. You can take the data science training for this. We can create vectors in a different ways, and this is why first question that Krunal asked me, right?
Yes.
With which model I created my embeddings, right? Because different models, they have different capabilities. And if we started talking about this, okay, before that, OpenAI text embedding ADA02 converts text into vector of 1536 dimensions. What does it mean? For us, it doesn't mean much. We will see a vector with 1536 numbers like this. Okay? And we know what is behind it, but we will not talk what is behind it. So different embedding models can generate different outputs. So if we talk about, you can see this, right? Embeddings. So text embedding 3 large, this will be much more flexible and close to language of our writers, Rabindranath Tagore's texts. And this embedding will generate text which, I don't know, some of our English teachers can write. Like this is proper text which we generate now when data writes mails. This is 1536. Okay. So I guess, yeah, okay. So we are done with the terminology with the basic terminology, Gen AI, LM, prompt, hallucination, and avoiding of hallucination, fine-tuning, grounding, etc. So now, my example I did with the LangChain. So LangChain is, I don't know, it's a library. It's not a language. It's, I don't know how to call it, library probably, which is designed to accelerate development of LLM applications. I've seen this for Python and JavaScript. Krunal said it has Java and Go, whatever. Since I didn't code for very long, and I said, okay, everyone who is not developer, like people who doesn't have our education, they prefer Python. So any salesperson or whatever will say Python. I didn't know Python, so I taken Python, learned it in 20 minutes, and I created some small applications, which I will show you. Okay, so LangChain also supports different LLMs. I did it with OpenAI, Krunal doing Ayama, and technically we can take my code and just replace OpenAI model with Ayama model. Okay, here, for those who will look into it later, we need, on our Linux, we need to install Python 3. And then inside of the Python, we need to install LangChain, OpenAI, and some other libraries. In the second example, I will show you. And here, if you can see, this is the import. This is initialization of OpenAI with the key, which we can obtain after we pay $20. And then immediately on LLM, we can invoke a question. What is Neo4j? And it will print the response. It will give us that generated article of Neo4j. Okay, so before I'm going to the next slide, let's see. So here, can we see it? Let me see if you can see. I cannot see. Can you see my terminal?
Yes.
Okay, good. And my code, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So first was import. Second is the key, company, OpenAI key, paid. Whoever wants to try, I will give the key. Here I set temperature to 1. Who remembers what is temperature 1? It's creative person. It will just generate the text. It may say any nonsense. Okay, then I create the prompt. It's called template here, prompt template. What does it mean? It means I will not ask any question to my first application. It already has a prompt. It already have a question. You are a Marathi fruit and vegetable seller. Your role is to assist your customer with their fruit and vegetable needs. Instruction. Respond in English. This we will change to some other language, Marathi, for example. Transcript in Latin, this didn't work for me always when I ask it to write in Marathi. Only like sometimes it writes really in Marathi, sometimes it gives me that English transcription of Marathi. Now here you see I wrote output JSON as and given instruction. And then again I wrote output text. So what do I expect? I expect that it will give me same output twice, one in a JSON format and one is a simple text. Tell me about the following fruit and what dishes I can cook with it. So there is an input parameter fruit. So this one will be replaced with my input, right? So let's go further. Here we have two parsers, but I don't know. Output parser works for me as well as JSON. Piping, I believe you know that. What is the piping? It's like in the shell. You use pipe to give that output of one command as an input to another command. So we create a chain. And what is chain? Probably we need to see the next slide. And here in the endless loop, I'm waiting for a word, fruit name, right? So Q I put into variable fruit, where is it? Input variable, then it goes here, and LLM chain is invoked with entire prompt template, and tell me about the following fruit and what dishes I can cook with it, whatever I did as an input. So I will run it with the Python. Which fruit should I put here?
Banana.
Orange.
Wow, banana. No, not too much recipes with banana. But now what I said, see, in the prompt I instructed output JSON. In the format you see description and your response here. So LLM is smart enough to replace your response here with the text it generated. And the second I asked it output text, so it output just the text, right? Okay, I will put fruit favorite Vadim's word. Vadim's favorite variable name. Who knows? Kruna. Да я. This is Vadim's variable.
Yeah.
Can provide more information. It doesn't know about this fruit. Okay. Orange. What we can cook with orange? I don't know. We need that vegetable. Citrus fruit that is widely used in various dishes, blah, 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 blah. Okay, interesting. Let's write now here Marathi. Does it make any sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck,
It's,
Hmm?
there is no
It's
grammar.
not that good.
Grammatically, it's
He
not.
just added tokens.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Marana, he some.
There is no grammar.
So I can believe that LLM, OpenAI LLM, is not trained for Marathi well, right? That's why it tries hard, but
I guess Google's Gemini support this language, multiple languages.
yeah, maybe whoever did in using our terminology, whoever did fine tuning, cockroach is not a vegetable, but let me see. Cockroach is not a commonly known fruit. What do you mean? Cacao, carambola? What of these fruits can be used in various dishes? Okay, so we can, if I put the same word, right, it will generate new text. What does it mean? It means that the generative AI, really generative, and it has some, how you call it, randomness in itself. So always text will be different.
Hallucination. That's the reason.
Yeah. Okay, so I stop at this moment. Let me see one more important part. So for the curious people. So LangChain application, it has 5 components, which we will see in my second example. We cannot see them as a 5 because they are interconnected, but we always know that there is model, right? Component that manage interaction with the language model. Then we can have data connection and retrieval. It's things which can access some external data, right? Chains, reusable components, agents. Agents orchestrate entire thing, and memory. If we want to use, if we create the chat, we want our engine to remember what was before, right? So for this, some databases are used. So now I want just to jump here. Models we've seen a little bit. So in LangChain, let's start from that chat models. Not interesting. Tools. Tools, there are many different tools. What tools are doing? They know to go somewhere and get proper information from there. When I will show the code, you will understand what I mean. Same about retrievers. Chat models not interesting. Tools twice. Okay, that's so this is last slide. One example, second. So in second example code you will see soon. I do OpenAI initialization. I do tools initialization configuration. Then agent, and then I will run the agent. Now the interesting part, how it all adds up. I imported here many things. Then I'm saying that I want to use specialized information from PubMed biomedical literature, and I want to use the second tool after PubMed is Google Books. What Google Books? Okay, so PubMed, in PubMed there are articles, biomedical articles. So we can ask there about COVID, we can ask about like different sicknesses, right? And we will get information from them. And from Google Books, we can get recommendation, or we can ask what is that book about, so we can get that short summary. Okay, so I instantiated two tools, PubMed, Google Books, OpenAI again. Okay, I use chat message history. Now we will see how it works. And we said that we need to make the tool chain. So I said PubMed with PBM. PBM is here. PBM, gbooks, gbooks, right? We need always to see documentation on LangChain to know what to call here. You see here it's invoke and here it's run. So for this, we need to go in LangChain and see the APIs here. And in description, it defines. So if me, as a user of LangChain, if I write, tell me about Neo4j or tell me about Pune, it will just go to the text which is already in the model. It will generate the text from the model. But if I write words, some causes, disease, PubMed, then what it will do? LLM will understand my question, okay? It will understand that I want information from PubMed. It means some grounded information. It will go to PubMed, retrieve the article, and if we ask to summarize that article, it will summarize the article, or it will just show the article. Same about books. If I'm asking for some suggestions, it will not generate the text. It will go to Google Books, get response from Google Books, and show this to me. Okay, so here we initialize it toolchain. Then there is some agent creator, agent, history. We said, okay, history needs to work with our agent. Why we need history? To have a conversation context. And same while that we've seen before, input. And response chat agent will invoke with my input, do something, generate the text, go to Google Books, go to PubMed, whatever, give me response and show the response. Let's see. Okay, now I need to tell you that there is no error handling here. So if in the text there are quotes or whatever, it gives error, which I didn't handle. And you know that I'm very sensitive for error handling, and here I myself didn't do this properly. But let's run it. Okay. What question we can ask? We can say, what can I see in Pune on Sunday? So where it will go? It doesn't go anywhere. It uses the text from its own knowledge. So now it's LLM itself generated the text, right? Ratata, Shinwarwada, Gahan Palace, Singat Fort, Sarasbak. Fantastic. Suggest me a book about Singat Fort. Okay. So I said it will give error, but we'll ask something else. Now let's ask about COVID. Okay, now by the color, I already see that this is from PubMed, so it gives me article, right? Suggest me book about it. I hope it will not crash with the Google Books. It didn't. Now see the beauty. When I asked it about Pune, it used its own knowledge, which is in current LLM model. Then I asked it about COVID, it went to PubMed and given us very long article, right? Then I said, suggest me a book about it. About what? Whatever LLM understand and keeps in the memory. So, okay, I said, we asked about COVID, so I will suggest you 5 books about COVID. And technically suggested only 2, right? Third, fourth, and fifth, okay, this is Google Books problem. But here we can see use of memory, use of context, how it understands the context, and like, give me a summary of the first book. Okay. Doesn't want to give me a summary. So this is the end of the lesson. I can answer very short questions, not detailed questions. This is not the level to which I want to go. Any questions? Whoa, they know about us.
I think
Okay.
everyone will implement this demo and they will ask questions there directly.
Yeah.
Just one thing, Andrei, like you mentioned that OpenAI, they need key. So others want to try, they can try Olama. It's free.
Okay. So for all detailed questions and key questions, go to Krunal. Prompt is Vivi. So we have people who knows this better than me. I just wanted to give you the terminology so everyone will understand when we are saying you are hallucinating, what does it mean? You need to be grounded. What does it mean in our context? And who is the curious and wants to go beyond? You can ask me, but most probably it is Krunal, Daya, Datta, Vivi, and other people. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
You, Andrei.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Andrei.
Thank you so much.
Bye.